If you think T'Challa's the only video game character in the new Black Panther movie, well, you're wrong. Hey, Chris Baker here. So I was trying to figure out a good way to celebrate the release of Black Panther without just doing a straight list of Black Panther video games. Panels to Pixels already did that, and there's really nothing much more to say. But then it hit me. There's a lot of characters in Black Panther, and you may not realize it, but a lot of them have actually been in video games, probably ones that you've played. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and list every single one of them, but I am going to do a countdown of my favorite appearances of every character who's been in a game. Got that? Now, this does not mean it's the best appearance of each character, nor does it mean it's the best game that each character has appeared in. It's just the ones I personally favor the most. So expect a lot of I worked on that game bias here. Number 5. Number 5 is a 4-way tie, all comprised of games I have not played yet. Killmonger, Okoye, Nakia, and Ross all appear in the latest DLC for LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. You'll also see some of them popping up in games like Marvel Future Fight, Marvel Contest of Champions, and even LEGO Avengers. But LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 is definitely the one that I personally have the most interest in. Plus, look at that Killmonger transformation animation, isn't that sweet? Thanks, J-Shock Blast. Okay, now the rest of them I promise I've played. Number 4. If you had asked me before this movie who the primary nemesis of Black Panther is, I would have said M'Baku, known better in the comics as Man-Ape. You remember him from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, don't you? No? Then I guess you only played it on Xbox 360, PS3, or in the re-release to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. But a slightly different version of the game came out for PS2, Wii, PSP, and Nintendo DS. Just like in the version that you probably played, the story diverts from a pretty faithful adaptation of Civil War into a game-specific story of nanites trying to take over the world. This leads us to Wakanda, where we find the Man-Ape trying to take advantage of the situation, attempting to take Wakanda for himself while everything else is in disarray. He gets his butt kicked.
I am Wakanda's true leader!
You are nothing but a man in a foolish costume.
Number 3. We may not be able to play Marvel Heroes anymore, but one of the cool things that it did was allow for alternate costumes that completely change the identity of a character. Often in games, we'll see instances like Spider-Man wearing Kane's Scarlet Spider outfit, except it's Peter Parker in there, not Kane. That's not what Marvel Heroes did with its enhanced costumes.
Your eye is creep-tastic.
One of the first ones they ever released was Shuri for Black Panther. I wish I had more footage to show you than this, but basically Shuri fought very closely to the Black Panther, except she had her own voiceover and some unique animations.
She kicks eye.
The glory is mine.
Number 2. It's time to get nostalgic.
Avengers assemble! Help! Leave it to me!
Captain America and the Avengers is so ridiculous, and I love it for that. In the game's first level, we see Whirlwind robbing a bank, followed up by 2 accomplices, Living Laser and Klaw. Why should it goes well indeed, Iron Man? I'm not sure if it was Klaw or Living Laser who actually said,
"Don't disturb us!"
but it has to be one of the earliest speaking roles in any Marvel video game. So it's got that going for it. Other than that, you just got Klaw making some grabby hands, and then you beat him and move on. Number 1. Of course, the top spot goes to Black Panther himself. And let's start with a couple of runners-up for him. First of all, I really like his appearance in Civil War Pinball. This is a game I worked on personally, and we really wanted to get all of the major stories that happened in Civil War represented on the table, and one of those just so happens to be the wedding of Black Panther and Storm. They're divorced now, but at the time it was a pretty cool thing going on, and it was just a little bit of happiness amidst all this terribleness of superheroes fighting each other. It's much more likely that you saw the ending of LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and I do wonder if we actually fooled people into thinking this might be some other popular superhero from another company.
My brave comrade.
What?
The people of Wakanda thank you.
But my personal favorite Black Panther video game appearance is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Not only was he playable as a DLC character, but his homeland of Wakanda made its video game debut and played a pretty major role in the story. I'd be willing to bet a lot of you watching this right now first heard of Wakanda because of this game. I also like that Vicarious Visions actually thought it would be a great idea to vary up his combat a bit by throwing in the Ebony Blade. At that time, during the Civil War, Black Panther was holding on to the Ebony Blade, which is normally associated with the character Black Knight, and he even used it a bit himself in the comics. So in addition to all the cool vibranium-clawed melee attacks that you'd expect of him normally, he also did his best He-Man impression.
By the power of Grayskull!
I guess he's kinda He-Man and Battle Cat in one, huh? Enjoy the movie, everybody. If you enjoyed this video about superhero video games, why not subscribe to a channel called Superhero Video Games? This one, right here. I'll see you next time, everybody.